Swansea Grand has the most amazing reputation in the business. Everybody talks about how friendly it is, how people, it's the same people after all the years. So I came into Swansea as company manager with no expectations other than, as the name suggests, to manage the show. And we got into about a week and a half of the run, and it was a great run, a really good show. And I have a habit, as I'm unusual in the theatre world because I'm a morning person. And I always get into the theatre about 10, half 10, and that morning I didn't get in till late. I went shopping around Swansea Market. And I remember getting to stage door, and this message, please see Gary Isles. Oh, fair enough. So I walked to my office, and there was a little sticky note, please see Gary Isles. And suddenly there were loads of messages. So I went to see Gary, who looked at me, and he'd gone quite a funny colour by then. And he said, you're on. I said, pardon? He said, you're on. What do you mean I'm on? He said, well, poor Carol had been taken ill, so Grotbags becomes Grotty Wizard. So this is about 12 o'clock, 12:30. I went downstairs, I sat in the company office and thought, what am I doing with my life? Because bear in mind, I hadn't had a chance to look at the script particularly or anything, so I only knew what I'd seen. And then at the 2 o'clock matinee, I stood in the wings, and for my first entrance, and I was pushed on by my lovely assistant stage manager who said, oh, just get on with it and make it happen. And I went on and did it. And then I stayed, I think, for about 4.5 weeks and had the most amazing time. Swansea audiences are very warm. Even though I was the villain, and I did get a few boos. Yeah, it's how you judge yourself as villain. If you don't get a boo in the first few seconds, you know you're in trouble. And I think I managed to do that. I said some terrible things, like you warbling Welsh warblers and you dozy bunch of daffodils, terrible things. But the audiences are so warm, and there is such an affection for pantomime. It's a very pantomime theatre. So I just had a fabulous run doing it, and it seems to have made a bit of a mark on people for some reason.
And have you been back since?
I have. I've sadly only once, and that was I was looking after a show called Showstoppers with Gary Wilmot, based on the TV show, and I came back, and sadly my travels haven't brought me back since that date. But you know, I've walked in today, and it's like a bit of a time warp in many things, and it is just so lovely to come and also see how well the theatre's doing. This amazing arts complex. And the fact that this theatre has a heartbeat. You get a lot of newer theatres that are very modern and their leisure centres come everything else. The Grand, it has a heart and you can feel it when you come in. And there's a warmth. And that is what is so unique and so special about it. And I know Joe Pasquale has remained a huge friend of mine. We're very close friends. And we always talk with affection about coming here. And that is a compliment, a higher compliment as you can pay to any theatre, that this is a panto theatre with panto people, and it's great to work here.
And pantomimes specifically, I know you've done a lot of pantomimes at the Birmingham Hippodrome. Do you think they've changed technically?
Yes, I have. I've done 17 now at Birmingham Hippodrome, which is the biggest in the country. I think audience expectations have changed. We used to use a flash when a villain came on, and that was perhaps one of these special effects. Now you have to give an audience something more. Let's face it, every child has got an iPod or a digital way of hearing sound. We have to give them that quality. We have to give them that production quality. So there's no cheating. We've got to make it big and we've got to make it special. It still relies intrinsically on performers that can do it and that know the craft of pantomime. But yes, I do think Panto, I think it's evolved, and I think it will continue to. It is still something, it's a great level of Panto. You get your accountant, your bank manager, and everybody in to see it, and that's what's so lovely about it.
Now, great memories for me as a child was the specialty acts, which you don't see so much these days. Do you have any memories?
I'm on my island all alone, I think I'll play my xylophone, yes. There were many special acts, and of course, Spesh used to be a great part of what Panto was. I mean, I can think of in Birmingham, we've had everything from Russian Cossacks to, you get the vents. I mean, there's still a lot of vents that work. You look, interestingly, at ventriloquists, Paul Zerdin, who is now, you know, one of the most current stars, is a vent actor. and still works in pantomime. So yes, it's variety, isn't it? Pantomime is traditionally variety. So you do get that element of people. And it's like the Swansea Grand this year, you've got fabulous Chico in, who's a great personality. And it's still personality driven, but speciality remains an important part of it, yeah.
And with the your castmates in Sleeping Beauty, do you keep in touch?
It's rather lovely. I haven't spoken to Bruce for a long time. Lovely Bruce Roberts from Home and Away. Suzanne Dando I worked with a few years ago, again back in Birmingham. Joe Pasquale and I, we shared a house in Swansea that I nearly set fire to.
Oh, I want to listen to that. Where was it?
Well, it was, now, where was it? Oh, gee whiz. I can't remember.
Was that a slosh scene gone bad?
Well, no, actually it gets worse than that. Joe, the stage manager, the assistant stage manager, myself shared a house. And as you all know, you understand Joe is crackers, you know, and that's what Joe's like. And I've never forgotten finishing an evening show here, going back, and we went to this place that sold chicken in Swansea, some type of, it wasn't the famous brand. We had this huge bargain bucket of chicken, and we sat there. And I remember Joe disappeared into the kitchen, and this is about 3 o'clock in the morning, and came out crying with laughter, and we're all sitting there, and this house had a corridor on the ground floor. And I put my hand by my side, and I could feel wet suddenly. And he put a bottle of fairy liquid in the dishwasher, just to see what would happen. So we managed to flood the house in bubbles. I nearly set fire to cooking a bacon sandwich. It was just hysterical. So Joe and I are still regularly in touch. We work together. Windsor Davis. I saw lovely Windsor only 4 years ago. We went laser questing in Swansea. I've never forgotten it. And Windsor was, what's laser quest? I've never been. You know, where you shoot each other. And Windsor's never forgotten that. Paul Shane I saw maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Panto, anybody who's an actor, we just do the same job as anybody else. There is one thing though that is totally different. You can see somebody you haven't seen for many years and you pick up exactly where you left off. Like I've come in here today after maybe 12, 13 years and it's as if it was yesterday. And that is what is lovely about the Panto family.
Do you know what else you can think of?
Swansea Grand. It's a pleasure coming to see you. It's an absolute joy to walk into a theatre that has warmth, that has sincerity, and makes a performer feel good. Never lose that. I don't think it will ever happen, but I don't think people realise how lucky they are that they have this beautiful building full of people that care passionately about what they do, and it is a pleasure to come back and say hello. Hopefully I won't frighten too many kids this time. I apologise if I do, but I had a ball being here, and many happy returns for your 100th Panto, is that right? Happy returns.
Oh, I've just climbed all the way up the mountain looking for Cinderella, looking for the Princess Beauty. Look, I'm just as confused as you are at this point. But anyway, I've got lied to me, it's Meatloaf's mum. What you lovely? Listen, I've just climbed all the way up the mountain and I'm really thirsty. Yeah, I've got nothing to drink out of that lovely.
Well, you do look rather warm. As for mountain milkman, I'd usually give you some milk, but I know how you can get some fresh mountain spring water.
Tell me.
Then you're going to need to learn a little rhyme.
Oh, I'm good at rhymes.
Are you?
Yeah, I know rhymes like tussle in the jungle, got a bellyache, wanna go to the toilet, too late.
No, not like that.
No.
Like this, you need to say, mountain stream, bring forth water pure, unclean.
So if I get that, I'll get the water.
Oh, you'll get it all right.
Brilliant! I'll learn it.
Oh, you love
See you in a minute, chappie. Okay, mountain stream. Drink some water, pure and clean. Okay, I learned it. That bloke, have you got the water? So if I say, I'll get it. Okay, mountain stream. Drink some water, pure and clean.
You silly boy, you deserve that, yes. What's that word when you go away, nobody wants you, silly boy, get on. Yes, go on, get away with you, nobody loves you, nobody wants you. Just go away, you stupid boy, go over. Come here then, right.
Thank you from me to an emperor called Ian Sandy, Ian Sandy is our company manager, or was up until about 2.5 weeks ago. He's now Grotty the Wizard. He has kept his company going, he's kept them all tremendously happy, and he's been a great character to work with. Sincere thanks, Ian Sandy. And last but by no means least, ladies and gentlemen, the entire company of this year's pantomime. This year's pantomime is regarded by most as being the finest pantomime this theatre has ever presented. I happen to believe that also. They've entertained over 63,000 people, and without exception, every one of them has left this theatre praising the pantomime, sending me letters of praise and congratulations, and buying more tickets. I can't thank you enough, ladies and gentlemen of this year's company. Thank you very much indeed.